12 long years. 12 years spent on cures that never came. And now you're here shaking in a crowd so dense. Knowing if you're recognized, it could mean your end. But trembling in fear, you reached out your hand. "12 years seeking answers from hands that took your all. Doctors who promised healing left you worse than before. You spent all you had, sold a little, lost the much. Your body replied with more blood, more shame, more hush. The law called you unclean, said no one must touch. Even your shadow was too close for anyone's clutch. You learned to walk outside the edges of your life, breathing softly so no one knew you survived. Yet something inside you whispered today was the time. Though trembling, unsure, you heard you walk that line, and fear faded when faith spoke clear. If I just touch the hem of his garment, something in me will change forever. Though I'm scared, though I'm shaking, though I don't deserve. If I just touch the hem of his garment, the cure 12 years in waiting will come the moment my faith touches him. If I just touch. You blended in the crowd, unnoticed and small, hurrying, trembling, for time was not long. Each shove made you wary, each shout made you stall. But your heart said he was your last hope of all. You wouldn't leave without touching his hem. You wouldn't return with the bleeding again. Not knowing if he'd notice your touch, not knowing if the unclean could approach as such. You reached out in fear's deepest night, and in that moment your bleeding ceased its fight. You felt your whole body respond. Warmth rose, weakness fell, the blood was gone. And in that crowd, unaware of your fight, you stood still, trembling, knowing inside something eternal had awakened in you. I touched the hem of his garment, and something in me changed forever. Though I'm scared, though I'm shaking, though I don't deserve, I touched the hem of his garment. The cure 12 years in waiting came the moment my faith touched him. I touched. But then he stopped amidst the crowd, looked around and asked, "Who touched me now?" Your heart froze, for they would all see the unclean woman who dared touch the master. The fear you thought you'd left behind returned as he turned his eyes to find you could have fled, vanished in the throng, but your body no longer trembled for the wrong. That touch changed not just your flow, it stirred a courage you didn't know. You fell at his feet and told it all, trembling, yes, but now with a different call. The holy fear of touching heaven's gates. I touched the hem of his garment, and something story doesn't end with the touch. He still has a word to speak to you. Wait here. He's about to call you by a name you forgot. "12 years they called you unclean. 12 years you answered to the name illness gave you. You even forgot the true name the Father gave you. But He's about to call you something new. 12 years, the law taught you the wrong name. Every morning you'd wake and look in the mirror, and the mirror would give back the word that hurt you most. Unclean, 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 written over who you were. You forgot your birth name in that diagnosis. Forgot someone once called you daughter with love. Disease became your last name, shame became your place. You signed your days with the name that pain gave you, until one day you stopped signing for real. Thought no name was worth using anymore. But when you fell at His feet, trembling, He didn't ask you what your name was. He didn't need your story, your record, your list of failures. He did something no one did in 12 years. He called you daughter, daughter. Your faith has made you whole. Didn't call you unclean, didn't call you a lost cause. He called you daughter, daughter. Go in peace. The name your illness gave you just lost its worth. For heaven now calls you daughter. No one called you daughter in 12 long years. No one looked at you without fear, without scorn, without space. Doctors called you a case, neighbors called you a problem, family called you a burden, friends called you less. Each name was a brick in the wall that trapped you. Each label was a chain you thought was normal. But when the Master spoke along that street, He used none of the names that hurt you. He used the name written before the world's foundation, the name the Father reserved for you when He made you daughter, daughter, daughter. 3 times He called, and with each a weight fell from your chest. You came trembling, unsure what to say. You thought you'd receive another name of shame, but the mouth that formed the universe chose the sweetest word to call you home again. He called you daughter, daughter. Your faith has made you whole. Didn't call you unclean, didn't call you a lost cause. He called you daughter, daughter. Go in peace. The name your illness gave you just lost its worth. For heaven now calls you daughter. Do you really think heaven would call you by your wound's name? Do you really think the Father would present you as unclean? The name they hurt you with isn't written up high. In the book of life, your diagnosis isn't there. It's the name He dreamed for you before time began. You are not the name pain gave you. You are not the name fear gave you. You are not the name diagnosis gave you. You are daughter, daughter, daughter. And no disease can erase this name. No year of bleeding can erase this name. No man's law can erase this name. When heaven calls you daughter, hell loses the paper. It used to bind you with the wrong name. He called you daughter, daughter. Your faith has made you whole. Didn't call you unclean, didn't call you a lost cause. He called you daughter, daughter. healing wasn't just in your body. There's a phrase he still wants to say. Wait here. The peace he has for you isn't over yet. You think the healing started when you touched his robe, but it began long before. It started the moment you chose not to give up. Healing was born within your fear. You think your faith was born when you were strong and bold, but faith was born while you were still trembling cold. The Bible doesn't say you ran with confidence. It doesn't say you were sure. It says you came trembling with fear, unsure of more. And it was that very trembling that carried your faith to him. For faith's not the absence of fear, but fear that dares to begin. The healing didn't wait for fear to vanish or disappear. The healing started the moment fear lost the last word near. You didn't have to be ready to come close to him. You just had to reach out your hand, even trembling. For God's restoration doesn't wait for fear to fade. It begins amidst the shaking, while you're still afraid. He didn't ask you to stop trembling before he cured. He healed you first, then said, go in peace assured. The healing began while you still were in fear. It didn't wait for strength, didn't wait for calm to appear. Grace slips in through the cracks of the trembling fear and makes your weakness the place where miracles near. The healing began in your fear. The healing began in your fear. 12 years of fear weren't 12 years of loss. They were 12 years of God preparing the cross. Every doctor who failed brought you closer to his street. Every day of bleeding was writing your testimony complete. You thought you were losing time, money, losing all, but you were being led step by step to his call. The fear of rejection you felt was the same fear that made you seek him to be dealt. The pain that seemed to be breaking you was the pain teaching you never to quit, to pursue God. Didn't waste a single day of your suffering. Every tear became the stone of the altar where healing began. Every sleepless night turned into the dawn where he reached out his hand. For God's restoration doesn't wait for fear to fade. It begins amidst the shading, while you're still afraid. He didn't ask you to stop trembling before he cured. He healed you first, then said, go in peace assured. The healing began while you still were in fear. It didn't wait for strength, didn't wait for calm to appear. Grace slips in through the cracks of the trembling fear and makes your weakness the place where miracles near. The healing began in your fear. The healing began in your fear. Are you waiting to lose fear for God to use you now? Are you waiting to stop trembling to have faith somehow? The woman in the gospel didn't stop trembling to touch. She touched while trembling. and healing came as such. For God doesn't need your courage, He needs your hunger, your thirst. He doesn't need your safety, He needs your heart first. The healing's not waiting for you to be ready and strong. The healing is waiting for you to come along. Trembling, yes, but with an outstretched hand. Afraid, yes, but with a willing heart to stand. God's grace enters where your strength has ceased. It doesn't compete with your courage, it replaces your peace. When you can't be strong anymore, it's there. His strength is perfect for sure. In your weakness, in your weakness, in your weakness, the healing began while you still were in fear. It didn't wait for strength, didn't wait for calm to appear. Grace slips in through the cracks of the trembling fear and makes your weakness the place where miracles meet. The healing began in your fear. The healing began in your fear. You don't need to be ready, you just need to be willing. But He still holds the final word. Wait here. The peace He gives is not like the world's accord.
After 12 long years, He spoke just 3 words to you. Go in peace. Yet those 3 words hold more healing than all doctors combined. For the peace He gives is unlike what the world ever promised. "12 years you chased the peace that never seemed to arrive. Each doctor promised after treatment you'd find relief. Each investment promised after visits you'd find reprieve. But peace never came, for peace wasn't in the body's cure. Peace was in the voice of the one who made you sure. You thought peace was the absence of all your pain. You thought peace was wealth, health, life all in place again. But true peace comes when heaven speaks your name and tells you that you're in peace with the one who came. The bleeding ceased, but His words healed your heart's core. The words He spoke ended your war with heaven's door. For He didn't just say you were healed that day, He said you were in peace with God always. It wasn't just your body being renewed, it was your soul finding the rest it once knew. Go in peace, daughter. Go in peace. The war is over, the debt's been paid, the veil's released. Go in peace, daughter. Go in peace. The peace the world couldn't give in 12 long years, I give you now in just 1 second clear. Go in peace. You had no peace since the illness took its toll. No peace with your body, no peace for your soul. No peace with neighbors, no peace in the mirror's gaze. The illness stole not just blood, but your peaceful days. Each morning brought new waves of anxious thought. Each night a list of fears that never stopped. But when He said, go in peace, eternity drew near. It wasn't just a wish, it was a decree so clear. Anxiety lost its claim upon your mind, and the Master's peace took the fear's place inside. For He didn't just say you were healed that day, He said you were in peace with God always. It wasn't just your body being renewed, it was your soul finding the rest it once knew. Go in peace, daughter. Go in peace. The Are you waiting for peace to come before you can leave with ease? Peace isn't what you get at the end, it's what you take and release. Go in peace isn't a farewell, it's a gift profound. It's the Master handing you your rest's rightful crown. The peace he gives is unlike the world's design. The world gives peace when things are all aligned. Jesus gives peace while storms still rage and fight. His peace doesn't depend on your circumstances, mind. When he says go in peace, hell loses its claim on you. Anxiety can't wake you up in the night it's through. Fear can't paralyze you. With morning light, you leave his presence carry. Peace so bright, no circumstance can erase this peace so true. Not even hell can revoke what's signed in blood anew. Go in peace, daughter. Go in peace. The war is over, the debt's been paid, the vows released. Go in peace, daughter. Go in peace. The peace the world couldn't give in 12 long years, I give you now in just 1 second clear. Go in peace. Go in peace. Go in peace. Go in peace. Go. The peace he gave you has no expiration date. You'll leave here changed from the state you came. But there's one last part of your story yet to be told. Wait here. You arrived yet trembling. You leave here testifying. The same fear that held you for 12 long years has now become your greatest proof that God is real. Because your story doesn't end in fear. Your story ends in testimony. You walk these streets unsure if you leave them alive, not knowing if the crowd would stone you or pass by. You came trembling with the last coin of your hope and left holding a healing no money can buy. The fear that kept you in bed for 12 long years became the ticket that led you to the Savior. The bleeding that shamed you for so much time turned to a testimony that will heal others now. Every night you wept thinking it was the end became the altar where God wrote your victory. You don't leave here as the woman sick for 12 years. You leave as the daughter Jesus called healed today. What the enemy planned for your destruction, God has turned into the greatest proof of his power. The fear that was your chain has become your crown. The pain that was your prison is now your platform. Fear turned to testimony. Pain turned to proof. What once paralyzed me is now the real think your story with fear ends here? Your story with fear is just beginning anew. Now you'll go home and share all that's happened. You'll tell those who called you unclean you were called daughter. You'll tell those who charged you were healed for free. The fear you carried for 12 long years becomes a message to another woman trembling now. The bleeding that isolated you from everyone becomes a bridge to reach those still all alone. Your testimony isn't just for you, it's for others still trembling. God healed you to be a living proof that He heals. Every woman who hears your story and touches by faith will receive the same healing you found here today. What the enemy planned for your destruction, God has turned into the greatest proof of His power. The fear that was your chain has become your crown. The pain that was your prison is now your platform. Fear turned to testimony. Hey, pain turned to proof. What once paralyzed me is now the reason I praise. 12 years of bleeding turned to 12 years of hunger that led me to the touch that changed everything. Fear turned to testimony. Pain turned to proof. What once paralyzed me is now the reason I praise. If you're hearing this story now, if you're trembling with your own fear, the woman from the gospel steps out to tell you. She touched while trembling, and healing came still. She came with fear and left with peace. She entered unclean and left as a daughter. She entered bleeding and left healed. She came in hiding and left testifying. The same Jesus who healed her is passing here now. The same hem she touched is within your reach. The fear that keeps you from drawing near is the same fear that carries your faith to Him. Don't wait to stop trembling to touch. Touch while trembling. Touch while trembling. Touch while trembling. And the healing that began in your fear will end in the midst of your testimony. Fear turned to testimony. Pain turned to proof. Paralyzed me is now the reason I praise. 12 years of bleeding turned to 12 years of hunger that led me to the touch that changed everything. Fear turned to testimony. Pain turned to proof. What once paralyzed me is now the reason I praise. Touch while trembling. Healing began in your fear and ends in your testimony. Go in peace, daughter. Go in peace.